Now, your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Well, it was an active morning and afternoon as storms ripped across central Illinois, but all of that has, well, since moved off well to the east. I mean, the storms, you can't even see them here on this satellite radar picture at the latest view. But the storms did not take away the humidity and the mugginess out there as temperatures tonight sit in the low and mid-70s. All right, here we go. Let's get you the school forecast. We're going to grade the morning on the way to school. About a B-, not bad. 71, mostly cloudy. But we are grading on the way home a D+ because we are forecasting more storms there in the afternoon, and the heat and humidity also moving in. Enough to talk about the potential of severe weather. We'll do that coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
I was at work and somebody texted me, hey, tree fell down in your house.
Downed trees and power lines were only some of the damage left behind as strong storms tore through central Illinois.
Plus, Speaker Madigan said 2 years ago his office planned to tackle sexual harassment. Why some say today it's still not enough.
There's a ton of experience, tons of ability, tons of skills on this department.
But one city's brand new police chief was told the department is missing something, what some say he needs to work on.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
Storms come through here all the time, and they roll by quick.
People across several counties in central Illinois are clearing debris after a strong storm swept through this afternoon. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini.
And I'm Jessica Coons. The severe weather made its way east from Springfield through Decatur into Champaign and Vermilion counties. This is just one of the views people had today. Some scary looking skies. Storms brought some heavy damage with them. WCIA 3's Jennifer Jensen took a look at the damage in Champaign County today. She's in our newsroom tonight. So Jennifer, what were people dealing with?
Jessica, trees were knocked down onto power lines, causing power outages, and parts of homes were even ripped off.
Darkness filled the sky and clouds covered areas in central Illinois. Rain and straight-line winds ripped through Champaign, passing by Mike Waller's house at Staley and Kirby.
So I was just sitting watching TV, and I just hear a boom, like a usual car wreck out here on the corner.
He says its strength was tangible.
I heard the house just heave a little bit, and the bang, when I heard that, the house just, like it took the house just expanded, just took a little breath.
Shortly after it came through, the outdoor warning sirens went off.
I heard the sirens. And they're right here, just about a half a mile down the road.
Champaign County was never under a tornado watch or warning on Tuesday, but a Champaign police officer spotted the funnel cloud in that area and told emergency management to sound the alarm as a safety caution. The sirens caused the University of Illinois to falsely send out an alert that there was a tornado warning. Nobody was reported hurt from the storm. Further down Kirby Avenue, the strong wind knocked down a large tree and a power line that used to stand in front of Gabriela Rosa's house.
I was at work and somebody texted me, hey, tree fell down in your house. I said, oh my gosh, no.
It toppled over into the neighbor's yard just a few feet away from their homes.
We're lucky, you know. The neighbor house is okay. Our house is okay.
There were numerous reports of 60-mile-per-hour winds all the way from the Capitol Airport in Springfield to Arcola and further east into Vermilion County. In the newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jensen, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Jennifer, thank you. And some of the worst damage today was in Vermilion County. In Catlin alone, a Casey sign blew over onto its side. A bar sign was ripped off of its mount. Nearby, crews had to repair a railroad stop arm that was bent, and a large trampoline was left wrapped around a telephone pole. Some power lines were down, blocking roads, and at the fire department, shingles were ripped off of the roof.
New at 10, Decatur police arrested a man they say is connected to a shooting. 37-year-old Michael Brown is facing attempted murder charges. Police say he shot a 38-year-old man last Friday on West Prairie Avenue. They're still investigating. Nearly 2 years after the first public reports of sexual harassment surfaced in the State House, a watchdog's report is now out, and it spells out in detail where Speaker Madigan's operation failed to protect women and how it can improve. WCIA 3's Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell has the story from Springfield.
a prohibition on sexual harassment.
In 2017, House Speaker Michael Madigan outlined steps his office would start to take to improve the workplace culture. Months later, women in his political and government offices were still coming forward to tell their stories to the public.
I asked him to stop 7 times. It never stopped.
Elena Hampton is still suing the Illinois Democratic Party, claiming she was punished and blackballed after she spoke up. Her story, another similar complaint from House Democrat Kelly Cassidy and former House staffer Sherry Garrett were all three mentioned in a 200-page report. It was released Tuesday morning, outlining how people across the Capitol workplace witnessed or personally experienced inappropriate sexual comments and unwelcome sexual advances. When the long-awaited report came out, Garrett responded, saying she felt she had no choice but to make her harassment complaint public if she wanted anything to change. Investigator and author of the report, Maggie Hickey, found the system in the Illinois House is not entirely unreasonable, but under Madigan's former chief of staff, Tim Mapes, it failed. In a response, Mapes replied, "If my demeanor or approach to my job did not instill trust in a healthy work environment, I apologize." Speaker Madigan said, "I take responsibility for not doing enough previously to prevent issues in my office and continue to believe that we collectively need to do more." House Republican Tim Butler acknowledges harassment is a bipartisan issue.
You know, I know on the House Republican side, we've seen some issues with some of our members that have been, and we're very vocal about that when things come up, that they either need to resign or they need to move on.
But he said in Springfield, one party has handled it different than another.
I hope the Speaker's serious about addressing a lot of these issues that have come up over the last couple of years. We've seen many members of the Madigan organization that have been forced to resign, have been forced to leave, but then we find out later on that they're still hooked into the Madigan organization, or they still have sway over things.
That was Mark Maxwell reporting. Now, the report recommends the Speaker take a more active leadership role in managing his office, advises all management to treat people who come forward, quote, not only with the respect that they deserve as human beings who are potentially in crisis, but also as the pro-organization, loyal whistleblowers that they are.
New for you tonight, businesses are preparing for expansion once recreational marijuana becomes legal next year. Cities in Illinois are now deciding whether or not to allow the sale of pot. New Med Dispensary in Urbana is anticipating opening a second location if Urbana passes the ordinance allowing sales. They've considered an influx of other businesses opening up as well, but they don't see that as competition.
We do have the established clientele. Not only that, we pride ourselves on customer service. So I think that, I think that there's going to be, I guess what I should say, there's going to be plenty of people, plenty of patience for us all.
Based on the 3% sales tax, Urbana expects to generate $150,000 to $300,000 in revenue every year from total sales. The ordinance could go on the agenda for a vote on September 3rd. We have a follow-up from 5. Danville's acting police chief has officially been sworn in as chief.
That's right. Chris Yates took the oath of office tonight in front of his family, friends, and fellow officers. WCIA 3's Jen Lask was at City Council. Jen, what does he plan to address moving forward?
He says he wants to continue adding more officers on patrol, but he was also challenged to make his team more diverse. I caught up with Chief Yates afterward to ask what he'll do.
I think what we got to look at is what we're doing moving forward, and quite humbled. Look around.
Chief, I've never seen you at a loss for words before.
Chief Yates became emotional as he reflected on his past while looking ahead to the future.
There's a ton of experience, tons of ability, tons of skills on this department.
Already on his first full night as the official chief, he was issued a challenge. Former Alderman Lloyd Randall came forward during public comments to oppose Yates' appointment, saying there should have been a broader national search.
We should be looking to diversify our department. It was amazing to watch who was in the back of the room tonight, and I challenge you, sir, diversify your department. gender, race, because you're dealing with a whole different community. It's very complex.
Randall says he spoke to Williams on Tuesday about opposing Yates' appointment.
I understand, and everyone has a right to their opinion, but I couldn't possibly disagree with more.
Randall's comment also provoked this response.
I would have challenged him to go out into the minority community and work and solicit the minorities to apply. That's the only way we're ever going to have any diversity, is they have to apply, the females, whatever.
I asked Chief Yates after the meeting what he thought about Randall's concerns. Yates says he's been going to local high schools and speaking to the NAACP and NOBLE, the National Organization of Black Law Enforcement Executives.
They got to understand there were nobody. It can't be blamed on the police and fire board. It can't be blamed on the city council because first we have to have applicants that are African American or minority. We had none.
The U.S. Census shows as of July 2018, at least 61% of the population in Danville is white, with another 33% black or African American and 6% Hispanic. Back to you.
Well, certainly there are going to be a lot more challenges ahead for Chief Yates going forward. Jen, thanks. Well, tomorrow's the deadline for developers to turn in applications for Danville's casino. Mayor Williams says 2 developers turned in applications last month and are expected to revise them before the deadline. He's also expecting a 3rd new application. As for amending Danville's liquor license for gambling parlors, the council is postponing that vote.
He rocked out on stage as a member of the Beatles more than 50 years ago, who made a stop at the State Farm Center tonight.
Plus, students were out of class at one school today. Why that won't be an issue tomorrow.
And later, Illinois officially has its quarterback who's taking the position.